Guys, Kevin wanted to make another video today, so we're on the same day. I'm not even pretending we're not. At the end of the day, what we're going to talk about is some of the things that I want to explain to you when you're playing with your hot rod, and you're wanting to make something that you're going to keep for a long term. The end of the day is don't be afraid to dig back in. Chances are, if you do it once, you're going to figure out that that's not what you needed, but you have to do a little more to get it exactly like you like it. Digging back in, doing it once or twice. The reason why I'm telling you that, I'm going to explain to you what I had done with the exhaust system and between the exhaust and between the Roots blower. The Roots blower makes a sweet little whistle when you're running down the road, but the exhaust ultimately can overwhelm, and you can't hear the supercharger if you have too much exhaust noise. So we ended up, I started out with 3.5-inch exhaust, and I went to a straight muffler and whatnot, and the exhaust was overwhelming. It was just, all I heard was cracking and popping and whatnot. It just wasn't pleasing to the ear, nor back to that point of manners and wanting to be able to drive a car that is going to not wear your eardrums out. What we ended up with is Flowmaster's probably quietest muffler overall. Then we went to a Zumi that we turned around and created ourselves. We ended up going to a Zumi style muffler, always because I wanted to run a set. They're a bit of a pain in the ass, just because they blow shit on the paint. But ultimately, I think with our look and what we were trying to do here is that it pulls that Hot Wheel look off. And we did it in stainless. We have the headers, and we have everything that's kind of just right at the same level. You know, notice the headers aren't hanging down. The motor's up a little bit higher than normal would be, but we got clearance for our headers. And at the end of the day, you'll see that we are all one level. Even our oil pan is flat and level with the bottom of the frame. Our tranny, same deal. And by the way, there's a little gear vendor overdrive in the back. Now, I got to tell you, having this neat, clean look underneath the car is great, but what it does more than that is simple is that if you have any road hazards and you're out running around, everything stays at the same level, and you could drive with confidence over speed bumps, whatever you got. So you know, it took us three times to get the exhaust just right, the sound just right, but we accomplished it. You know, it's sometimes frustrating to do it 2 or 3 times, but I got to tell you, the reward is really there. If you stay persistent, you'll come up with something that you really want to hang on to.